Alright guys, back here with another video, and before we get into it, I want to make sure you guys are smashing that like button, leaving comments below what you guys want to see next. I'm really looking forward to getting those dash promos, and I'm going to go on over a bunch of different things about this deck and things that you can take from this profile and change. And yeah, this is a rough draft. I need to play with this more, but we'll get into it. And make sure you're in the Discord, link in the description, and then you have the Shopify. Check out the merch. We got some cool stuff, playmats. If you guys want custom stuff, you can always feel free to email us at airfaregaming@gmail.com. Okay, and Pan, standard, when you play a battle card, it gets 5k power for the turn, and that's for the first thing you play. And if it hits 20k or more, you draw a card. Then you awaken when you have 3 or more Z energy, or 4 or less life, untap 1, draw 1. And you go to the backside, and she does the same thing for the boost and draw card. And then she also has the attack draw card, as well as you get to choose one of your red Z battle cards with energy cost 2, and it gains 5k power for the turn, which is crazy with your Z battle cards. Really good card. But let's go ahead and get into it. So this deck is very similar to Tim's Pan list from Nats, but slightly different. It's red-yellow, but I'll get into that in a little bit. You got 4 of Pan Wish Your Miracles when this card's played, and we get some minus 10k something, and draw a card, and then Pan triggers and you draw a card. Really good card, but you can only activate Battle to play for 1 whenever you have a red card in your combo area. She's really nice. Then you got Pan United Emotion. This card is the rare from the set. This is from the starter deck, so this deck's pretty easy to assemble. You got this card is when it's played. You get to attack and draw whenever it's played, obviously, and then you attack if it has like 20k power. You get to look top 5 and grab a red sand. It's really good card. And then you have one of your best cards from the starter deck. This is for Goku Senses Returned. This card is a monster. It has Deflect. When this card attacks, you get the combo with 1 red sand from your drop area, and you play it for 1 energy, and you burst 2, and it's limit 1, and then you get to play it. Obviously, the triggers Pan, draw a card, and then when it attacks, you get the combo, and then you get to activate battle, pay 1, and you get to restand the card, draw a card, and it gains 5k power for the turn, which is crazy. The card's a lot of values, and the attack and combo from drop is not once per turn. And you know your leader's awaken ability is when you have cards in your Z energy. So that's a good way to generate Z energy. But you need to make sure you have mono red cards, mono red Saiyans in your drop area to combo with to make it worth it. One of your best cards as well. This is like Vegeta, like the Freehan, but it's for 0 energy, so it's actually insane. You don't have to pay 1 to play it. You just when it's in combo at the end of battle, you have to play it if you don't have one in play because it's unique. And as another effect, when it's up under here, it gives him an effect to minus 25 something when he attacks, which is crazy. So a lot of times you want to get this off board so you can play another one, which is cool. You got 4 of Broly Crown of Retribution. Typically, I only play like 2 copies of this in most decks, or maybe 3, depending on the deck. But this is a red Saiyan, and I noticed that whenever I had a lower count on Saiyans, sometimes you needed. You get basically you're more or less unlucky off the top burst 2, and that's really what I hit. You want to hit Saiyans on the top, and it's just a good card. Really good against blue and yellow. 2 Deluge of Power. Could bump this up to 3 potentially, depending on your preference. This gives your red battle card an extra 5k power to the combo whenever you're using it. Really good card. Then you got 3 copies of the SGR facing the Android Terror. This card's just a 1 cost when you're at 4 less life to play it at either player's turn. Can trigger your leader to draw a card, and yeah, and also can help you clear tokens, which is nice. It next 10 everything on the board. 7 or less cards, that is. You got 2 Goten. Now, this card I could see myself bumping up to 3 potentially, but a lot of times you do draw quite a bit, so you do see it, and you have to be at 3 energy to play him for 1 energy, but he's really strong. Good threat for 1 double striker. Now, 4 copies of the Trio. This could technically just be 3 copies. I'm not exactly sure if I want to play 3 or 4, but it's nice to see when you need it, and it's easy to, like, you can charge it without having to worry. You play it over top of one of your cards, and it's It's really nice. And then it can neg 30 something when it attacks, which is really strong for removal. Now here's the fun part. You got 4 of your Motivated Destruction super combo. This is a super combo that's live as soon as you start the game, and it's really nice because you are playing red-yellow cards. So on your turn 1, you want to charge a red-yellow, no matter what it is really, besides your super combos. And then you can, like, you don't have like cards you don't want to specifically charge. Like you're okay charging this, you're okay charging this one, and then obviously okay charging 1 copy of any of these. But basically you have 8 cards that you can potentially charge turn 1. You need to make sure you have one in your opening hand, because mainly the perk is playing Almighty Resistance, because red yellow, and if it's a counter for 2. But you do need a red yellow card to discard. So I could see myself maybe playing 9th, and I had this in, and this is your fast land or check land, whatever you want to call it, so you don't have to charge this turn 1. But even then, if I had this in my open hand, I would just charge it turn 1, because I don't have to worry about the warping from drop, because sometimes that doesn't work out that way you want it to. But the whole purpose of playing this engine is so you can play these cards, and because this card arrivals for 1 red, this card arrivals for 1 red, this 1 red or yellow technically, and this one's 1 red, this is 1 red, 1 yellow. This card's removal, mid-battle, and or lock your leader down. This card's just nice draw, so you'll draw with your leader, draw with him. This card has offering, so when it's played, your opponent's going to not want to crit a life because you're playing against this deck. Then you draw 2 cards, or they'll crit a life. Either way, it's nice, and you can do this multiple times. So like you can do it once on their turn, once on your turn, and this also is a free combo, 5k, if you have a red yellow card in your combo area. It's a really cool card. Feel free to tweak the engine, and if you want to try this out, I might put it back in. It depends. And then for defensive options, you've got 2 Topo. This card is really good in this deck. And then you have 2 Vegeta's Imposing Presence. Just your red Saiyan, and you can afford to tap out later in the game and have that extra protection. Then you have 2 Flight of Grand Eagle. They try to go crazy on you. You have this because you're always swarming the board, and you can use this to protect yourself. And then your Secret Rare. So this is the interesting part, because you have to have mono red energy for him to trigger. So this card's not playable to turn 5, but this backed up with this on turn 5 is like guaranteed game pretty much. So keep that in mind. Quad Strike with Almighty Resistance like this after it's in your opponent's hand, you can calculate how much they can combo up to, is really powerful. But yeah, that's it for the profile outside of the extra deck. Make sure to leave comments. I want to know what you guys would change. You got 2 SS4 Goku, the starter deck guy. Make your opponent go down to 3 life. Really strong. And then you get to do the effect, like I told you earlier, to grab the Saiyan Ape from the drop, and he gets it a 25k minus. And also, this card has Barrier, and with your leader, you get to gain dual attack and 5k power. And then this is going to give it 5k power, so it's monstrous. Extreme pressure. 4 rush attack, SSB Vegeta. This could technically be 3 copies and 2 copies of Oolong if you wanted it to be. Oolong's nice because you're playing yellow, so if you have the yellow energy, go for it. But yeah, Secret Rare could technically change. I hope they give us a red-yellow Secret Rare that's not terrible. That's similar to Wicked Saints, and this I would play that instead in this deck. But yeah, make sure to smash the like button and let us know what you're thinking about them. Comment section below. Deuces.